What up, party people? Cousin Kenny is back. This time, rocking the hotness. I've got Series 1 Weapon Pack, Series 1 Tiger Man, and of course, AWOKS Primal Series, Wave 2 Blight, the most anticipated figure in the line for me. I know you're probably thinking to yourself, you psycho. How is the giant gorilla man not #1 on your list? It's because I don't really collect 6 and 7 inch figures, and I just have like a little bit of space down here. So let's do this. I am woefully behind on opening up and playing with stuff, which is hampering my buying. I have bought significantly less because I have stuff to open already, and it's probably a good thing, but so busy with the grand opening of the new toy department that I just, well, time got away from me. But here I am. We're going to do a quickie this morning. Today, morning still? I guess it's technically still morning. So here we go. Solid box. I really could get behind hands in a bag instead of hands in the bubble. I understand from like a retailer perspective, it might be kind of nice to see. It's a quick, easy look, right? Like, oh, there's no holes, everything's here. But as a collector, I also don't need so much in the way of extra hands. I think I said that before about Sword Warriors. Let's get in here. So this figure, I'm all over the place today. You know what I need to make that worse? A little more coffee. Oh, that's terrible. So I bought, what's his name? Pale, when we got him in at the store. I really want a Blight, but I bought Pale, and I'm like, crap, these figures are awesome. So I went in and I bought Tiberius, and I bought a weapons pack because I want some guns. And I keep picking characters that don't have guns. I feel like Jason's probably targeting me specifically somehow. This might be some type of discrimination. I might need to sue. Anyways, so let's do this. Pale, I loved it. It was a great figure. You can check out the other video I did on that. I'm sure it was glowing. I got a lot of the same things to say here, no doubt. Look at that. I mean, we're putting the taint on the glass. We got just buttery smooth joints. The plastic feels good. I mean, like you know, again, same wave as Pale, so there's not going to be any major revelations here, but we got to say Jason and his team over at Spero absolutely nailed the Primal series. I mean, from a phenomenal Kickstarter to excellent product in hand, it really, and this is no slight on the 4-inch line, but to see the way the designs have evolved from the 4-inch Animal Warriors line to this, I mean, his growth as an artist is really impressive, and the growth as a company is stunning. So, all right, so I pulled his crossbow out, and I'm gonna do something with him and a crossbow. But first, I'm also gonna do something with a gun. But we're about to open up Blight, and then I'm gonna mix and match some weapons in there and really confuse myself when I go to move in a couple years. So here we go. Series 2 Blight, the only Series 2 figure I've picked up so far. Vero Atlas is on the table, and of course, Big Boy Thane. I mean, I walk by that thing every day at work. It's gonna be really hard to not pick one up. He's got this great little smirky face that's clutch. Okay, so the hand's taped in the box on this one, which is kind of nice. Great insert packaging seems like the same. Feels like we had a very if it ain't broke, don't fix it approach to packaging, which I love. See this. Man. I don't know what I want to talk about first. So we can talk about the beautiful color on these weapons, right? We can talk about that. We can talk about his pimp cane, which is awesome. We can talk about that eye. Look at those eyes, man. We can talk about the metallic purple choices on the armor. I mean, one of my biggest complaints is the wrong word, but maybe critiques about the 4-inch Animal Warriors line, and part of why I didn't find a ton of figures that drew me in was they were often monochromatic, right? Like I like fun contrast in colors, right? And oh yeah, I never did his double knee bend. And one of the things that I think the Spero team has really nailed down since then is the color variations, whether it's Blight with just the wild colors, whether it's Vero Atlas with the white and the purple, like, you know, I'm really drawn to the color patterns in the current series and current iteration. I think they're doing really good stuff with the coloration. So really impressed by, again, just solid figures. Like, feels better than a Marvel Legend. You know, none of that sort of NECA stiffness or Voliverse fragility or, you know, butterfly's nice. Ponytail aside, the head spin's great. I mean, really, an excellent use of a figure. It's cool here. He's got a monkey hand, so I'm assuming this is like a full sleeve of armor. It's like a single armor sleeve, which is kind of cool. He's fun. I don't know if he's... Hold up. I was doing a little research. Blight is indeed a bad guy. I had to look, because, you know, sometimes you judge a book by the cover, right? But, and again, that's, I think, to the compliment of this line. I'll continue to say it, as cliche as it sounds. These feel like they walked out of a 90s cartoon. Like, the designs feel like they should have aired next to Gargoyles in the 90s, right? Like, and to that point, Blight being a bad guy makes sense, because that's how bad guys looked in the 90s. And it's awesome. This continues to be a dangerous line for me. But let's get into our gold weapons pack. I went back and forth between gold and the glow in the dark, and I don't remember, it's been a while. I don't remember why I made this choice, which is not informative to you at all. I don't actually, now that I think about it, I don't think they're glow in the dark weapons. I think they're just irradiated or whatever. And that might be why I went gold, was because they look like they should be glow in the dark, but they aren't. I'll have to double check that when I get to work today. Heads up, Jason. Glow in the dark weapons. This line is, I think, going to be a problem for me. Not in a way that it's bad. Like, obviously it's great. Like, I love it. But in that I don't collect this scale. But I want to play with these toys. Interestingly, sell a lot. A little retailer perspective, right? You know, decent sized toy store we run. We sell a lot of, I mean, relatively speaking, a decent amount of Primal series, like, compared to other lines, right? Like, I've sold more Primal series figures than I've sold NECA TMNT monsters. Now that's a tricky line, just because, like, people can buy NECA Turtles at a bunch more places than they can buy Spero. So it's all anecdotal. All of this to say, though, I have yet to have a collection of them sold back to us, which I think is, again, anecdotally a good, I'm putting a gun in backwards, a good just sort of check on at least our local community and where they're standing. You know, I think when when you see the new Spider-Verse wave of Marvel Legends, and I mean, it's not new, it's like 2 months old, and people are selling them back to, selling them to us within a week or two of finding them, I tend to worry a little bit. Other independent, less successful Kickstarter lines come through our store, a decent amount, within the first month or two. And we haven't had secondhand primals come in yet, so that's cool. I'm not loving how my pimp cane is working out for Blight here. I just need to comment a little further. I really love the choice in variety of weapons. I also like little details, like that grippy finger has the index, that grippy hand has an index finger that's like on its own, and it can kind of be bent out to hold the trigger if you want it to, but it doesn't have to. That's such a nice, small design choice that I think probably doesn't get celebrated in the way that it should. And listen, he may not have been the first, they may not have been the first people to do it, right? But I think it's worth mentioning. There's just a lot of really fun little choices around the line that help to, I think, elevate it a bit. I'm gonna go straight to the shelf for some size comparison pieces. I covered a lot of this in the Pale video. I have a very manic selection of stuff down here. It's all my out of scale men's. Tiger Man's gonna take a little bit of adjusting before I get him to where he wants. Honestly, I think this might be one of those things where I end up putting up a shelf at the desk at work and putting them there so that I can justify them, even though they're technically out of the holy scale. So thanks for watching. Shout out to Spero. Shout out to Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Primal series. Do not sleep on these guys. Indie company, wildly successful Kickstarter, but the figures, are gonna burn eventually. People are gonna snatch them up and they're gonna be gone. So if you're on the fence, do not sleep on it.